and welcome. There are just a few rules before we get started this evening. First of all, there are no flash pictures during the performance. It is dangerous to the actors on stage and annoying to those sitting around you. Carousel takes place in 1874. It was a time of innocence and no cell phones. At this time, I ask you all to please turn off and not just silence any pagers, any beepers, anything that will make a noise. In particular, phones and pagers, because of the radio frequency, is very close to what our miking system is and can cause disturbances within the miking systems. So please turn it completely off. Also, if everyone could please refrain from talking during the performance. None of you are understudies, and our entire cast is very well rehearsed. So please give them the respect that they deserve over the 3 months that they're working on this show, and give them your undivided attention. Thank you. And now, Akiba Hebrew Academy proudly presents Act 1 of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel.
They go for a ride. Get your spot on the carousel.
Come on, step right up, step right up.
Come one, come all. On the spot of the carousel. Hi, how are you? Here you go. Here you go. There you go. I'm sorry, we're all sold out. No, but there's no. I'm sorry, there's no spots. Go. There you go. There you go. I'm sorry, I said there's all sold out. No more spots left for you. There's no more spots. I'm sorry. Oh, no, you don't. Come back here. This is Mom. You want... Billy! Billy, get back. Billy! Get back. Oh, you didn't. Billy, get back to work, I said. Get back to work. You should be on the carousel in the first place. Excuse me. You know what? Stop. Get away. Stop it. Go. You know what? You know, stop the ride! Stop the ride! Everyone off! Everyone off the ride! I'm sorry! You're not getting your money back! Off the ride, everyone! Come here, you! Come here! You come here! I said you did not get on my Oh, come on! Oh, you didn't go run away from me! Come back here, you chippies! Chippies! I haven't had enough with you yet! Come back! That's to get what's mine! No, I ain't scared of her. I got one more thing to tell you, young woman. If you ever so much as stick your nose in my carousel again, you'll be thrown out. Right on your little pink behind. You got no call to talk to her like that. She ain't doing you no harm. Oh, ain't she? Think I want to get in trouble with the police and lose my license. What is the woman talking about? Letting my Barrack fool with you. Ain't you ashamed?
I don't let no man...
He leaned against her all through the ride.
He leaned against the horse, but he never laid a hand on me.
Oh, no, Miss Innocent. And he didn't put his arm around your waist, neither.
I suppose he did. Is that reason to have a capiloptic fit?
You keep out of this, you rip. You've had my warning. If you come back, you'll be thrown out.
Who'll throw me out?
Billy Bigelow, the Barker. Same fella you let get so free with you.
I bet he wouldn't. He wouldn't throw me out.
I bet the same thing. You mind your business, hussy.
Oh, go back to your carousel and leave us alone. Yes, leave us alone, Yold.
I don't run my business for a lot of chippies.
Chippy yourself. Yes, chippy yourself.
Why,
Good! Oh! Jabba, 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 jabba! What's going on anyway? Spitting and sputtering like 3 lumps of corn popping on a shovel.
Mr. Bigelow, please.
Don't yell!
I didn't yell.
Well, don't. What's the matter?
Take a look at that girl, Billy. She ain't ever allowed on my carousel again. Next time she ever tries to get in, if she ever dares, I want you to throw her out, understand? Throw her out!
All right. You heard the lady. Run home now.
Come on, Julie.
No, I won't! Like a drink?
Sure.
Mr. Bigelow, tell me, please. Honest and truly, if I came back to the carousel, would you throw me out?
What does she do anyway?
She says you put your arm around my waist.
So that's how it is. Can't put my arm around a girl without asking your permission. That how it is?
I just don't want that one around no more.
You come around all you want, see? And if you ain't got the price, Billy Bigelow will treat you to a ride.
Big talker, ain't you, Mr. Bigelow? I suppose you think I can't throw you out too if I wanted to. You're such a good barker, I can't get along without you, that it? Well, just for that, you're discharged. Your services are no longer required. You're bounced. See?
Very well, Mrs. Mullen.
Well, I could bounce you if I wanted to.
And you felt like you just now, so I'm bounced.
Do you have to pick every word I say? I only said...
And my services were no longer required. Very well, Mrs. Mullen.
All right, you devil. All right.
Mr. Bigelow, if she's willing to say she'll change her mind, maybe...
Apologize to her.
Aha! Me apologize to her? For what? For spoiling the good name of my carousel? The business left to me by my dear, saintly departed husband, Mr. Mullen? I only wish my poor husband was alive this minute.
I bet he don't.
Oh, he'd give you such a smack.
That's what I'm gonna give you if you don't try it up!
Yep, start! After all I've done for you. Now I'm through with you for good.
Get out of here! Get!
Through for good. I'm taking that like before.
Mr. Bigelow,
Don't feel sorry for me, or I'll give you a slap on the jaw. And don't feel sorry for me either.
I don't feel sorry for you, Mr. Bigelow.
You're a liar. I can see it in your face. You are feeling sorry for me. You think now that she fired me, I won't be able to get another job?
What will you do now, Mr. Bigelow?
Well, first of all, I'll go get myself a glass of beer. Whenever anything bothers me, I always drink a glass of beer.
Then you are bothered about losing your job.
No, only about how I'm gonna pay for the beer. Will you pay for it? Will you? How much money you got?
43 cents.
And you? I asked you, how much money you got? Oh, I understand. You need to cry about it. I'm gonna go to the carousel and get my things. Stay here until I get back.
Mr. Bigelow.
It's all right. I'll pay.
Julie. Julie. Do you like him?
I don't know.
Did you like it when he talked to you today? When he put you on the carousel that way? Did you like that?
I'd rather not say.
You're a queer one, Julie Jordan. You are quieter and deeper than a well, and you never tell me nothing.
There's nothing that I can't choose to tell.
You've been acting most peculiar. Every morning you're awake ahead of me, always sitting by the window.
I like to watch the river meet the sea.
When we work in the mill, weaving at the loom, you gaze absent-minded at the roof, and half your time your shuttle gets twisted in the thread till you can't tell the warp from the woof.
Tain't so.
You're a queer one, Julie Jordan. You won't ever tell a body what you think. You're as tight-lipped as an oyster, and as silent as an old Sahara spink.
Sphinx.
Huh?
Sphinx.
Spink.
You spell it with an X.
That's only when there's more than one. Julie, I've been busting to tell you something lately.
You have?
Reason I didn't care to tell you before was because you didn't have a feller of your own. Now you go and I can tell you about mine.
Oh, I'm glad you got a fella, Carrie. What's his name?
His name is Mr. Snow, and an upstanding man is he. He comes home every night in his round bottom boat with a net full of herring from the sea. An almost perfect beau, as refined as a girl could wish. But he spent so much time in his round bottom boat that he can't seem to lose the smell of fish. The first time he kissed me, the whiff of his clothes knocked me flat on the floor of the room. But now that I love him, my heart's in my nose, and fish is my favorite perfume. Last night he spoke quite low, and a fair-spoken man is he. And he said, Miss Pipperidge, I'd like it fine if I could be wed with a wife. And indeed, Miss Pipperidge, if you'll be mine, I'll be yours for the rest of my life. Next moment we were promised, and now my mind's in a maze. For all I can do is look forward to that wonderful day of days, when I marry Mr. Snow. The flowers will be buzzing, the bees, the birds will make a racket in the churchyard trees. When I marry Mr. Snow, then it's off to home we'll go, and both of us will look a little dreamy-eyed, a drive into a cottage by the ocean side, where the salty breezes blow. He'll carry me across the threshold, and I'll be as meek as a lamb. Then he'll set me on my feet, and I'll say kind of sweet, well, Mr. Snow, here I am. Then I'll kiss him so he'll know that everything will be as right can be, living in a cottage by the sea with me. Mr. Snow, that young seafaring, bold and daring, big be-whiskered, overbearing, darling Mr. Snow. So you see, I can understand now how you feel about Billy Bigelow.
You still here?
You told us to wait for you.
What do you think I want with the two of you? I mean that one of you was to wait. The other can go home.
All right, all right.
One of you goes home. Where do you work?
Bascom's Cotton Mill, a little ways up the river.
And you?
I work there too.
Well, one of you goes home. Which of you wants to stay? Come on, speak up. Which of you stays?
Whoever stays loses her job.
How do you mean?
All Bascom's girls have to be respectable. We all have to live in the mill boarding house. And if we're late, they lock us out and we can't go back to work there anymore.
Is that right? You'll be bounced if you're not home on time?
Julie, should I go?
I can't tell you what to do, Carrie.
All right, you stay if you like.
Is that true? You'll be bounced?
That's right. Julie, should I go?
Why do you keep asking me that?
Because you know what's best to do.
All right, Carrie, you can go.
Well, good night.
Now we're both out of a job. Have you had your supper?
No.
Want to eat out on the pier?
No.
Anywhere else?
No.
Say, you don't come to the Carousel much. Only seen you there 3 times before today.
Oh, I've been there much more than that.
Is that right? Did you see me?
Yes,
Did you know I was Billy Bigelow?
they told me.
Have you got a sweetheart?
No,
Don't lie to me.
I haven't anybody.
You mean you stayed here the first time I asked you? You know your way around, all right.
No, I don't, Mr. Bigelow.
And suppose you don't know why you're sitting here like this, alone with me. You wouldn't have stayed the first time unless you hadn't done it before.
Well,
Why'd you stay for anyway?
so that you wouldn't be alone.
Alone? God, you're dumb. I don't need to be alone. I can have all the girls I want. Don't you know that?
I know that, Mr. Bigelow.
What do you know?
That all the girls are crazy for you. But that's not why I stayed. I stayed because you've been so good to me.
Well, then you can go home.
I don't want to go home now.
And suppose I was to leave you sitting here alone.
Even then I wouldn't go.
Say, you know what you remind me of? A girl I know back at Coney Island. Tell you how I met her.
Evening, Mr. Bosco.
Good evening, Timony. Nice night.
Indeed it is. Mr. Bosco, that girl's one of your girls. One of my girls.
Is that you, Miss Jordan?
Yes, Mr. Bascom.
Whatever are you doing out at this hour? You know what time we close our doors at the Mill boarding house. You couldn't be home on time now if you ran all the way.
No, sir.
Who's old Sideburns?
Here now, don't you go to calling Mr. Boscom names, lest you fixly get yourself into trouble. We got a report on this fella from the police chief at Bangor. He's a pretty sly gazebo, come up from Coney Island.
New York, eh?
Works on carousels, makes a specialty of young things like this one. Gets them all moony-eyed, promises to marry them, then takes their money.
But I haven't got any money.
Speak when you're spoken to, miss.
Julie, you've heard what kind of blackguard this man is. You're an inexperienced young girl and he's imposed on you and deluded you. And that's why I'm inclined to give you one more chance.
You hear that?
I'm meeting Mrs. Bascom at the church. We'll drive you home and I'll explain everything to the house matron. Come, my child.
Well, girl, don't be standing there like you have good sense.
Do I have to go with you?
No, you have to.
Stay.
After I warned you.
You see, Timony? There are some of them you just can't help. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Bosco. You low-down scalawag, to throw you in jail.
What for?
Dunno. Wish I did.
Well, and then what?
Huh?
You were starting to tell me a story.
Me?
About that girl on Coney Island. You had just put out the lights in the carousel, and that's where you stopped.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, we were putting out the lights in the carousel, and a girl came along with the shawl. You know, she... Say, ain't you scared of me? I mean, after what the cops said about me taking money from girls.
I ain't scared.
That your name? Julie something?
Julie Jordan.
You're a queer one, Julie Jordan. Ain't you sorry that you didn't run away? You can still go if you wanna.
I reckon that I can't choose to stay. You couldn't take my money if I didn't have any, and I don't have a penny, that's true. And if I did have money, you couldn't take any, 'cause you'd ask and I'd give it to you.
You're a queer one, Julie Jordan. Ain't you ever had a fella you gave money to?
No.
Ain't you ever had a fella at all?
No.
Well, you must have had a fella you went walking with.
Yes.
Where'd you walk?
Nowhere special I recall.
In the woods,
No.
on the beach.
No.
Did you love him?
No, I never loved no one. I told you that.
Say, you're a funny kid. Want to go into town and dance maybe?
No. I have to be careful
Of what?
of my character. You see, I'm never gonna marry. I'm never gonna marry. If I was gonna marry, I wouldn't have to be such a stickler. But I'm not gonna marry, and a girl who don't marry has got to be much more particular.
Say I'd marry you.
You?
You are thinking what the cop said.
No, I ain't. I never paid no mind to what he said.
Well, you wouldn't marry anyone like me, would you?
Yes, I would. If I loved you. It wouldn't make any difference what you... Even if I died for it.
How do you know what you'd do if you love me, or how you'd feel, or anything?
I don't know how I'd know. Just the same, I know how it'd be if I loved you. When I work in the mill, weaving at the loom, I gaze absent-minded at the roof. And half the time the shuttle get tangled with the threads, and the warp get mixed with the woof. If I loved you...
But you don't.
No, I don't. But somehow I can see just exactly how I'd be if I loved you. Time and again I would try to say all I'd want you to know. If I loved you, words wouldn't come in an easy way. Round in circles I go, longing to tell you, but afraid and shy. I'd let my golden chances pass me by. Soon you'd leave me, off you would go in the mist of day. Never, never to know how I loved you. If I'd loved you.
Well, anyway, you don't love me. That's what you said, wasn't it?
No, I don't love you. I can smell them, can you? The blossoms. The wind brings them down.
Ain't much wind tonight. Hardly any. No, you can't hear a sound, not the turn of a leaf, nor the fall of a wave hitting the sand. The tide's creeping up on the beach like a thief, afraid to be caught stealing the land. On a night like this, I start to wonder what life is all about.
And I always say 2 heads are better than 1 to figure it out.
I don't need you or anyone to help me figure it out. I got it figured out for myself. We ain't important. What are we, a couple of specks of nothing? Look up there. There's a hell of a lot of stars in the sky, and the sky so big the sea looks small. And 2 little people, you and I, we don't count at all. Say, you're a funny kid. Don't remember ever meeting a girl like you. You trying to get me to marry you?
No.
Then what's putting it into my head? You're different, all right? Don't know what it is. You look up at me with that little kid face, like you trusted me. I wonder what it'd be like.
What?
Oh, nothing. I know what it'd be like. It'd be awful. I can just see myself. Kinda scrawny and pale, picking at my food, and lovesick like any other guy. I throw away my sweater and dress up like a dude in a dickie and a collar and a tie. If I loved you.
But you don't.
No, I don't. But somehow I can see just exactly how I'd be if I loved you. Time and again I would try to say all I want you to know. If I loved you, words wouldn't come in an easy way. Round in circles I'd go, longing to tell you, but afraid and shy. I let my golden chances pass me by. Soon you'd leave me, off you would go in the mist of day. Never, never to know how I loved you. If I loved you. Well, anyway, I'm not a fellow to marry anybody. Even if a girl was foolish enough to want me to, I wouldn't.
Don't worry about it, Billy.
Who's worried?
You were right about there being no wind. The blossoms are just coming down by themselves. Just their time too, I reckon.
in a bucket of tar. And you ought to be ashamed, making yourselves a plague and a nuisance with your yelling and screaming and carrying on. Give it to him good, Harry, give it to him good.
Get away, you know account nothings with your silly jokes and prattle. If you packed all your brains in a butterfly's head, they'd still have room to rattle.
Give it to him good, Harry, give it to him good. Tell us something now, Lorna.
Get away, you asked about riffraff with your bellies full of grog. If you packed all your brains in a polydog's head, he'd never even grow to be a frog.
No, Lorna would never be a frog. That Lorna, darn 'em.
Now, just a minute, ladies. You've got the whole correct. We only asked for lightning. You was ready yet. Behind the light is flaring. Together, another song. And why did I tell you we went into our hall? Look at that.
Ninny.
Oh, you can't blame him. First claim because he has always like this. It's like unlocking a door and all the crazy notions they kept shut up for the winter come whooping out into the sunshine. This year's just like every other.
March went out like a lion, whipping up the water in the bend. Then April cried and stepped aside, and along come pretty little May. May was full of promises, but she didn't keep them quick enough for some. And a lot of doubt in Thomas's was predicting that the sun would never come.
But it's coming by, come. You can feel it come. You can feel it in your heart. You can see it in the ground.
You can hear it in the trees, you can smell it in the breeze. Look around, look around, look around.
June is busting out all over the meadow and the hill. Buds are busting out of bushes and the romping river pushes every little wheel that wheels beside the mill.
June is busting out all over.
The feeling is getting so intense that the young Virginia creepers have been hugging all the jeepers and all the morning glories on the fence.
Because it's June, 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 June. Just because it's June, June, June.
Fresh and alive and gay and young, June is a love song sweetly sung.
June is busting out all over.
The saplings are busting out with time.
Love is found my brother Junior.
And my sisters even.
And my mind's getting picnic. June is busting out all over.
The ladies and men are paying court. All the ships are kept at anchor just because the captain's hanker. Her comfort they can only get in port.
Because it's June, 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 June. Just because it's June, June, June.
June makes the bay look bright and new. Sails gleaming white on sunlit blue. June is busting out all over. The ocean is full of jets and jills.
With her little tail a swishing, every lady fish is wishing that a male would come and grab her by the gill. June is busting out all over.
sheep are determined there'll be new sheep, and the new sheep can't even keep in school.
June, 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 just because it's June, June, June.
To Augusti, all the boys are feeling lusty, and the girls ain't even putting up a fuss.
Because it's June, 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 just because it's June, June, June.
Why don't you two visit for a while? Look, girls, we got work to do. Come on. You see those steps up there. You sit up there and keep out of the way. Don't poke your nose in other people's business.
You need me, Cousin Eddie?
No, you stay out here and visit with Carrie. You haven't seen each other for a long time. Do you good?
Is it working yet?
No, Nettie's been awful kind to us, letting us stay here with her.
Mr. Snow says a man that can't find work these days is just bone lazy.
Billy don't know any tree. He's only good at what he used to do, so now we just don't do anything.
Wouldn't the Carousel woman take him back?
I think she would, but he won't go. I asked him why, and he won't tell me. And last Monday, he hit me.
Did you hit him back?
No.
Why did you leave him?
Because I don't wanna.
I would. I'd leave him. Thinks he can do whatever he likes just because he's Billy Bigelow. Don't support you, beats you. He's a bad one.
He ain't willingly or meaningly bad.
Maybe, Kate. That night you sat on the bench together. He was gentle then, you told him.
Yes, he was.
But now he's always acting up.
Not always. Sometimes he's gentle. Even now. After supper, he stands out here and listens to the music from the carousel. And something comes over him. And he's gentle.
What's he say?
Nothing. He just sits and gets thoughtful. You see, he's unhappy because he ain't working. And that's really why he hit me on Monday.
My reason for hitting you beats his wife because he ain't working.
It's on his mind.
Did he hurt you?
No. No.
Julie, I got some good news to tell you about me. About Mr. Snow and me. We're going to be cried in church next Sunday. Oh, just a minute. Stop your racket. Don't all come at me together. How? How long have you been bespoke? Near on to 2 months. Julie was the first to know. Oh. What's he look like, Julie? Well, Julie's never seen him, but you all will soon. He's coming here. I asked him to the clam bake.
Oh, I can hardly wait to meet him. I can't wait for the wedding.
Me neither.
Oh, what a day that'll be for you, Carrie.
When you won't tell me all the heads will turn. One of us when the morning still be. And you try to smile, but your cheeks will burn, and your eyes will get so dim you can hardly see. With your arms clasped spirit in your hand, you will stumble to the spot where the carousel is, and you get the ruby ring with the golden band. And you know the love is yours, and you are his. What a day, what a day. The flowers will be buzzing with the harmony. The birds will make a racket in the churchyard trees. Feeling lights on the way. And little dreamy eyes are trying to reach by the ocean side. Where the salty breezes blow. You and Mr. Snow carry me across the thresholds, and I'll be as big as a lamb. Then you'll set me on my feet, and I'll say kind of sweet, well, Mr. Snow, here I
And I'll kiss her so she'll know
Mr. Snow! Mr. Snow!
that everything'll be as right can be. Living in a cottage by the sea with me, while the salty breezes blow. I love Miss Pipperidge, and I aim to make Miss Pipperidge change her name to Mrs. Enoch Snow.
I'll never look him in the face again, never!
Surprise.
Silently, the two lovebirds of love.
Oh, Enoch,
Surprise.
surprised! I'm mortified! Well, this is him.
Carrie's told me a lot about you.
I've told you a lot about Julie, haven't I?
Carrie tells me you're coming to the clam bake.
Looks like we'll have good weather for it, too.
Not a cloud in the sky.
You're right.
He don't say much, but what he does say is awful pithy. Is he anything like I told you he was?
Just like
Oh, Carrie, I near forgot. I brought you some flowers.
Flowers, where are they? Geranium seeds.
And this in here is hydrangea. Thought we could plant them out in front of the cottage. They do good in the salt air.
that'll be beautiful.
I like digging around the garden in my spare time. Like to plant flowers and take care of them. Does your husband like that too?
I couldn't rightly say that Billy likes to take care of flowers. He likes to smell them, though.
Enoch's nice looking, ain't he?
Oh, come, Carrie.
Steady and reliable, too. Well, ain't you gonna wish us good luck?
Of course I will, Carrie.
Oh, you can kiss Enoch, too. Us being such good friends and me being right here looking at you.
Why are you crying, Mrs.
It's because she has such a good heart.
We thank you for your heartfelt sympathy. We thank you, Mrs.
Mrs. Bigelow. Mrs. Billy Bigelow. Billy! You know Carrie. This is their intended Mr. Snow.
Mr. Bigelow, I almost feel like I know you. How are you? I'm pretty well. Just getting over a little chest cold. This time of year, you know.
Billy!
All right, say it. I stayed out all night. I ain't working. I'm living off your cousin Nettie.
I didn't say anything.
No, but it was on the tip of your tongue.
Billy, be sure to come back in time for the clam bake.
I ain't going to no clam bake. Come on, Jigger.
I'm glad you ain't got no whoop jamboree notions like Billy.
Well, Carrie, it's always seemed to me a man has enough to worry about. Getting a good sleep at night so as to get in a good day's work the next day without going out and looking for any special trouble.
That's true, Enoch.
A man's got to make plans for his life, and then he's got to stick to them.
Your plans are turning out just fine, ain't they, Enoch?
All according to schedule so far.
I own a little house and I sail a little boat, and the fish I catch I sell. And in a manner of speaking, I'm doing very well. I love a little girl and she's in love with me, and soon she'll be my bride. And in a manner of speaking, I should be satisfied.
Well, ain't ya?
If I told you my plans and the things I intend, it'd make every curl on your head stand on end. When I make enough money out of one little boat, I'll put all my money in another little boat. I'll make twice as much out of two little boats, and the first thing you know, I'll have 4 little boats, then 8 little boats, then a fleet of little boats, then a great big fleet of great big boats. All catching herring, bringing it to shore, sailing out again, and bringing in more, and more, and more, and more.
Who's gonna eat all that herring?
They ain't going to be herring. I'm gonna put them in cans and call them sardines. First I'll build a little sardine cannery, then a big one, then the biggest one in the whole country. Oh, Carrie, I'm going to get rich on sardines. I mean, we're going to get rich. You and me. I mean, you and me and all of us.
First year we're married, we'll have 1 little kid. The second year we'll go and have another little kid. You'll soon be done in socks for 8 little feet.
Are you building up to another fleet?
We'll build a lot more rooms. Our dear little house will get bigger. Our dear little house will get bigger.
And so will my figure.
Oh, Carrie, can you imagine how it'll be when the kids are all upstairs in bed and you and me sit alone by the fireside, me in my armchair and you on my knee? Maybe.
Maybe.
When the children are asleep, we'll sit and dream the things that every other dad and mother dream. When the children are asleep and lights are low, if I still love you the way I love you today. You'll pardon my saying I told you so. When the children are asleep, I'll dream with you. We'll think what fun we have had and be glad that it all came true.
When children are awake, go romping through the rooms and running on the stairs. Then, in a manner of speaking, a house is really theirs. But once they close their eyes and we are left alone and free from all their fuss, then, in a manner of speaking, we can be really us. When the children are asleep, we'll sit and
Dream all alone.
the things that every other dad and mother
Dreams that won't be interrupted when the children are asleep and lights are low.
Behold, if I still love you the way I love you today, you'll pardon my saying I told you so. When the children are asleep, I'll dream with you.
You'll dream with me.
We'll think what fun we have had and be glad that it all came true.
When the day is a long time ago, you'll still hear me say that the best dream I know is
When the children are asleep, I'll dream with you.
Hey, Bill, where you going? Stick with me. After the other shipmates leave, I've been planning with you and you can make a lot of money. How much? More than you ever saw in your life. Some people who live on land are hard to understand. When you're looking for fun, they clown you into jail. So I'm shipping off to sea, where life is gay and free, and a fella can flip a hook in the hip of a whale. Low, high, low, low, a whale and we will go. We'll go a whaling, a sailing away. Away we'll go, blow me high and low. For many and many a long, long day. For many and many a long, long day. It's wonderful just to feel your hands upon the wheel and to listen to wind whistling in the sail. Or to climb aloft and be the very first to see a chrysanthemum spout come out of a span of a whale. Low, high, low, low, a whale and we will go. We'll go a whaling, a sailing away. Away we'll go, blow me high and low. For many and many a long, long day. For many and many a long, long day. A rocking upon the sea, your boat will seem to be like a dear little baby in her bassinet. She hasn't learned to walk, and she hasn't learned to talk, and her little behind is kind of inclined to be wet. Low, high, low, low, a whaling we will go. We'll go a whaling, a sailing away. Away we'll go, blow me high and low. For many, many a long, long day. For many and many a long, long day.
It's old Sideburns who owns the mill. Also owns your ship?
That's right. And tonight he'll be taking $3,000 or $4,000 down to the captain by himself. He'll walk along the waterfront by himself with all that money.
You think he'd have someone go with him?
Nope, not him. Not the last 3 times anyway. I watched him from the same spot and seen him pass me. Once I nearly jumped him.
Why didn't you?
Don't like to do a job unless it's airtight. This one needs 2 to pull it off proper. Besides, the moon was shining on him like a torch. Don't like moons. Lately the nights have been running to fog, and it's 10 to 1 there'll be fog tonight. That's why I wanted you to tell your wife you were going to the clam bake.
Clam bake? Why?
Suppose we're all out on the island, and we get lost in the fog for half an hour. And suppose we get a boat back, and we did whatever we had to do. And then we got back to the island. There's your alibi. We were lost in the fog all that time.
What would we have to do? I mean, me. What would I have to do?
You'd go up to old Sideburns and say, excuse me, sir, could you tell me the time?
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me the time? Then what?
Then by the time I got my knife in his ribs, you'd get your knife.
I ain't got a knife.
You can get one, can't ya?
Does he have to be killed?
No, he don't have to be. But these New Englanders are funny. They'd rather be killed.
I ain't gonna do it. It's dirty.
What's dirty about
The
it?
knife!
Fine, we don't need a knife. You can go up to old Sideburns with a tin cup and say, please, sir, can I have $3,000? See what he does for you.
I ain't gonna do it.
Well, fine. If you got all the money you want and don't need...
Money thinks I'm dead.
That's right, and you're out of a job, and you got a wife to support.
Shut up about my wife! What do you want?
Hello, Billy.
What'd you come for?
Come to talk business.
Business?
I see you're still hanging around your jailbird friend.
What's it to you who I hang around with?
If there's one thing I can't abide, it's the common type of woman.
You got a new barker, ain't you?
Why don't you go home and sleep at night? You look awful.
He's as good as me, ain't he?
Push your hair back off your forehead.
Leave my hair be.
If I told you to let it hang down over your eyes, you'd push it back. I hear you've been beating her. You're sick of her. Why don't you leave her? No use beating the poor, skinny little...
Leave her? You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Don't flatter yourself. If I had any sense, I wouldn't have come here. The things you gotta do when you're in business. I'd sell the damn Carousel if I could.
Ain't it crowded without me?
You kidding? Those fool girls keep asking for you. They miss you, see? Now why don't you be sensible and come back?
And leave Julie?
You beat her, don't you?
No, I don't beat her. What's all this damn fool talk about beating? I hit her once, and now the whole town...
Right! I take it back!
Beating her as if I beat her.
What's the odds one way or another? Look at the thing straight. You've been married 2 months, and you're sick of it. Out there is the Carousel. Show booths, young girls, all the beer you want, a good living. And you're throwing it all away. Know what? I got a new organ.
I know.
How do you know?
You can hear it from here. I listen to it every night.
Good one, ain't it?
Jim Dandy. Got a nice tone.
You ought to come up close and hear it. Makes you think the carousel's going faster. You belong out there, and you know it. You ain't cut out for a respectable married man. You're an artist type. You belong among artists. Tell you what, you come back, and I'll give you the ruby ring my husband left me.
I don't know. I might go back. I can still go on living with Julie.
Holy Moses!
What's wrong?
Can you imagine how the girls would love that? A baka who runs home every night to his wife. Why, people laugh themselves sick.
I know what you want.
Don't be so stuck on yourself.
Look, I ain't happy here, and that's the truth.
Of course you ain't.
Want anything?
Why don't you have a talk with her? She'll understand. Maybe she'll be glad to get rid of you.
Maybe.
I brought you your breakfast. And Billy, before I forget, I have something to tell you.
Well, all right.
can't. We gotta be alone.
Here I'm talking business, and
It'll only take a minute.
get out of here, or
I said it'll only take
you get out of here.
No.
What did you say?
Let her alone, Billy. I'll drop in at Bascom's Bank to get some small change for the carousel. I'll be back in a few minutes to your answer to my proposition.
Don't look at me like that. I ain't afraid of you. I ain't afraid of anyone. I have something to tell you.
Well, tell me and make it quick.
I can't tell it so quick. Why don't you drink your coffee?
Is that what you wanted to tell me?
No. By the time you drink it, I'll have told you.
Well,
Well, yesterday my head ached, and you asked me...
yes.
Well, you see, that's what it is.
You sick?
No, it's nothing like that. It's awful hard for me to tell you. I'm not a bit scared because it's a perfectly natural thing.
What is?
When two people live together,
Yes.
I'm gonna have a baby.
Hey, Jigger! Julie's gonna have a baby!
Yeah, what about it?
Nothing.
My mother had a baby once.
He in there with her? Oh, they're having it out, I bet. When he comes back to me, I ain't gonna let him hang around you anymore. You know that, don't you?
Common woman.
Ain't gonna let him get in your clutches. Anybody that gets mixed up with you ends up in the jailhouse or the grave.
Tut, tut, tut. Carnival Chippy. Couldn't seen a man and his wife.
Come in between nothing. They don't belong together. Nobody knows him like I do, and nobody is gonna get him away from me either, and that goes for you.
Who wants him? After he's been tied up with an old... wobbly hip slut like you. What good would he be to me?
He won't be no good to you. And he won't end up with a policeman's bullet in his heart like that Roberts boy you hung out with last year. Wish that bullet would have gotten you, you sleek-eyed wolf rat. You keep away from him, that's all. Or I'll have the cops after you.
Common woman.
Yeah, call names. But I got him back just the same, and you're through.
Put on a new coat of paint. You're starting to peel. Old pleasure boat.
You still here?
Didn't you tell me to come back? Here. You'll be wanting an advance on your salary. Well, it's only fair. You've been out of work a long time.
Going back to your carousel, Mrs. Mullen.
What's the matter with you?
Can't you see I'm eating my breakfast? Go home.
You mean you ain't coming with me?
Get out of here. Get.
I'll never speak to you again. Not if you were dying, I wouldn't.
That worries me.
What did she tell you in there?
She told me...
Some lies about me, I bet!
Nothing about you. Just about Julie and me. And as a matter of fact, Mrs. Mullen, I'm going to be a father.
You? Julie?
Go home, Mrs. Mullen.
You? A father?
Get the hell out of here, Mrs. Mullen! I wonder what he'll think of me. I guess he'll call me the old man. I guess he'll think I can lick every other fella's father. Well, I can. I bet that he'll turn out to be the spitting image of his dad. But he'll have more common sense than his puddin'-headed father ever had. I'll teach him to wrestle and dive through a wave when we go in the mornings for a swim. His mother can teach him the way to behave, but she won't make a sissy out of him. Not him, not my boy, not Bill. Bill, my boy Bill, I will see that he's named after me. I will. My boy Bill, he'll be tall and as tough as a tree. Will Bill, like a tree, he'll grow with his head held high and his feet planted firm in the ground. And you won't see nobody dare to try to boss him or toss him around. No pot-bellied, baggy-eyed bully will boss him around. And I don't give a damn what he does. As long as he does what he likes. He can sit on his tail to work on a rail with a hammer, a spike. He can ferry a boat on a river, or pedal a pack on his back, or work up and down the streets of a town with a whip and a horse and a hack. He can haul a scow around a canal, run a cow around a corral, or maybe balk for a carousel. Of course it takes talent to do that well. He might be the champs of a heavyweight, or a fellow that sells you glue, or the president of the United States. That'd be all right too. His mother would like that, but he wouldn't be president unless he wanted to be. Not Bill. My boy Bill, he'll be tall and as tough as a tree. Will Bill, like a tree, he'll grow with his head held high and his feet planted firm in the ground. And you won't see nobody dare to try to boss him or toss him around. No fat-bottom, baggy-eyed, pot-bellied bastard, I'd boss him or toss him around. And I'm damned if he'll marry his boss's daughter, a skinny-lipped virgin with blood like Wiles, who'll give him a peck and call it a kiss, and look in his eyes so alluring yet. Say, why am I taking on like this? My kid ain't even been born yet. I can see him when he's 17 or so, and starting to go with the girl. I can give him lots of pointers, very sound, on the way to get around any girl. I can tell him, wait a minute, could it be? What the hell? What if he is a girl? Oh, Bill, what could I do with her? What could I do for her? A bum with no money! You can have fun with a son, but you gotta be a father to a girl. It mightn't be so bad at that. A kid with ribbons in her hair, a kind of sweet and petite little tin type of her mother. What a pair. My little girl, pink and white as peaches and cream is she. My little girl is half again as bright as girls are meant to be. Dozens of boys pursue her, many a likely lad does what he can to woo her from her faithful dad. She has a few pink and white young fellas or 2 and 3, but my little girl gets gets hungry every night when she comes home to me. My little girl, my little girl. I gotta get ready before she comes. I gotta make certain that she won't be dragged up in slums with a lot of bums like me. She's gotta be sheltered and fed and kept in the best that money can buy. I never knew how to get money, but I'll try, by God, I'll try. I'll go out and make it, or steal it, or take it, or die.
Hey, Billy, what's this Julie says about you not going to the clam bake?
Clam bake? Maybe I'll go after all. Hey, there's Chigger. I gotta go talk to him.
I'll tell Julie you're
Hey,
coming.
Tigger.
She'll be tickled pink.
I changed my mind about going to the clam bake. I'll do everything like you said, on account of Julie having a baby.
Sure. Did you get the knife?
Me, I ain't got a knife.
Go and get the kitchen knife.
Somebody must see me.
Do it so they don't see you.
Billy, is it true? Are you coming?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Oh, Billy, we'll have a barrel of fun. I'll show you all over the island. I know every inch of it. Been going to picnics there since I was a little girl.
Hey, Billy, don't you think you should get the,
Get what, Billy?
the shawl? Billy said he ought to have a shawl. It gets cold there at nights on the island. Isn't that right, Billy?
Yeah, I better go get you the shawl.
That's real nice of you, Billy.
I'll go get it.
Come on, all.
June is busting out all over. The flowers are busting on the sea.
And the pleasant life of Riley that is spoken of so highly, the life that everybody wants to live.
Because it's June. June, June, June. Just because it's June. June, June.
As I should have ate those last 4 dozen clams.
Look here, Aunt Casey. You just keep your hands in your pockets. They're so cold.
This was a real nice clam bake. We're mighty glad we came. The victuals we ate were good, you bet. The company was the same. Our hearts are warm, our bellies
when we raked them red-hot lobsters out of the driftwood fire. They sizzled and crackled and sputtered a song fitting for an angel's choir.
Fitting for an angel's, fitting for an angel's, fitting for an angel's choir.
Then we slid 'em down the backs and pepped 'em good and doused 'em in melted butter.
Then we tore away the claws and cracked them with our teeth, 'cause we weren't in the mood to putter.
Fitting for an angel's, fitting for an angel's, fitting for an angel's choir.
And at last from the shells.
Just how many of them galloped down our gullets? We couldn't say ourselves, oh. This was a real nice landing. We're mighty glad we came. The victuals we ate were good, you bet. The company was the same. Our hearts are warm, our bellies are full, and we are feeling pride. This was a real nice landing, and we all had a real good time. We said it all before and we'll say it again. We all had a real good
Hey, Nettie, ain't about time the boys started their treasure hunt? Just a minute. Nobody's going treasure hunting until we get this island cleaned up. Can't leave it like this for picnickers that come. Bow in and get to work. The whole kit and caboodle of you. Burn that, brother. Gather up those bottles. Hey, Enoch, while they're cleaning up, you go hide the treasure.
Why should he get out of working?
'Cause he found the treasure last year. One that finds it hides it the next year. That's the way we do.
Hey, Jigger. Ain't it near time for us to start?
Nah, we'll wait till they start the treasure hunt. That way you and me can get lost on the island together. We'll be a team, see? Say, stop jumping from one foot to the other. Now go along to your wife and tell that little Carrie to come to me.
Look, Jigger, we ain't got time to fool with girls.
You know me, quick or nothing.
After we do it, what do we do then?
We'll bury the money and wait 6 months like nothing happened. Then we'll wait another 6 months and buy a passage on the ship.
Well, the baby will be born by then.
We'll take it with us.
Maybe we'll sail to San Francisco.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, stop putting your heart in your chest. Stop putting your hand on your heart like that.
I can't help it. My heart's beating up and down underneath the knife.
Yeah, put it on the other side.
Mr. Bigelow, Julie says you should come and help her.
Okay.
Oh, I don't feel so well. Here, sit here, man. I want your advice.
Now look here, Mr. Cragen. I ain't got no time for no wharf yards or spoon drift.
I just want your advice. You're as sweet as sugar and I'm crazy for you. Ain't nothing I wouldn't do just to see you smile.
Mr. Cragen!
I'd swim through beer with my mouth closed. You're the only girl for me. How about a little a kiss?
Oh, Mr. Cragen, I couldn't.
Didn't you hear me say I loved you?
I'm awful sorry for you, but what can I do? Enoch and me are going to be cried in church next Sunday.
Next Sunday, I'll be out looking at the icy gray water. Maybe I'll jump in and drown myself.
Oh, don't.
Well then, how about a kiss? One measly little kiss.
Enoch wouldn't like it.
I don't want to kiss Enoch.
I'll thank you not to yell at me, Mr. Cragen. If you love me like you say you do, then please show me the same respect that you would if you didn't love me.
Carrie, Miss Pepperidge, please, a word. I'm sorry. For an awful minute, I let the brute out in me.
I think I understand, Mr. Cragen.
Thank you, Miss Pepperidge. Thank you kindly. But there is one thing that worries me. It worries me a lot. It's about you.
About me?
You're such a little innocent. You had no right to stay here with a man you hardly knew. Suppose I were a different type of man. You know, unprincipled. Who'd use his physical strength to get his will. There are such men, you know.
I know, but
Every girl ought to know how to defend herself. I can show you some grips in wrestling, if you'd like. Some that'll land a masher flat on his face in 2 minutes.
but I ain't strong enough.
Oh, it's not in the strength, it's all in the balance. A twist of the wrist, a dig with the elbow. Here, let me show you a simple one. This may save your life someday. Suppose a fella grabs you like this. Now, put your 2 hands around my neck and pull me towards you. Good. Now, pull me down. Good. Now, put your left arm all the way around my neck and squeeze. Hard, tighter. Good girl.
Does it hurt?
Oh, I'm helpless.
Show me another one.
All right, here's how you can pick up a fella and send him sprawling. Now, I'll stand here and... Wait a minute. I'll do it to you first, then you can do it to me. Now, stand still and relax. There's the way firemen carry people.
Is it?
Yep, see how helpless you can make a fella if he gets fresh with you?
Mr. Cragen. Hello, Enoch. This is the way firemen carry people.
Where's the fire?
He was only showing me how to defend myself.
Didn't look like you had learned very much by the time I got here.
What's all the fussing and fuzzling and wuzzling about?
In my opinion, sir, you're as scurvy a hunk of scum as I ever seen near the water's edge at low tide.
Same. Side view.
I never thought I'd see the woman I am engaged to being carried out of the woods like a fallen deer.
He wasn't carrying me out of the woods, he was carrying me into the woods. No, wait, I don't mean that.
I think we have said all we have to say. I can't abide women who are free, loose, and lollygagging. And I certainly would never marry one.
Oh, but Enoch...
Please, leave me. Leave me alone to my shattered dreams. They are all I have left. Memories of what didn't happen.
Geraniums in the winter, hydrangeas on the lawn, and breakfast in the kitchen in the timid pink of dawn. And you do blow me kisses as I headed further sea. We might have been a happy pair of lovers, mightn't have we? And coming home at twilight, it might have been so sweet to take my catch of herring and lay them at your feet. I might have had a baby. What? To dandle on my knee, but all these things that might have been are never, never to be.
I never seen it yet to fail. I never see it fail. A girl who's in love with a virtuous man is doomed to weep and wail. Stone cutters cut it on stone. Woodpeckers peck it on wood. There's nothing so bad for a woman as a man who thinks he's good.
Nice talk!
My mother used to say to me, when you grow up, my son, I hope you're a bum like your father was, 'cause a good man ain't no fun. Stone cutters cut it on stone, woodpeckers peck it on wood. There's nothing so bad for a woman as a man who thinks he's good.
'Tain't so,
'Tis too.
'tain't so.
Boston cream pie.
Hey, Tigger, don't you think...
Huh? Hey, when are you gonna start this treasure hunt?
Right now. Y'all got your partners? 2 men to each team. You have half an hour to find the treasure. The winners can kiss any girls they want.
Billy, are you going with Jigger?
Why?
Don't you think that's foolish? Neither one of you knows the island good. You ought to split up and each go with...
We're partners, see? Come on, Jigger.
I don't know what gets into men. Enoch put on a new suit today, and he was a different person.
I never seen you to fail. I never see it fail. A girl who's in love with any man is doomed to weep and wail.
Even worse after they marry you. In fact, that Ray Carey'd be better off. Here's our Maya, been married a year. She'll tell you.
The clock just ticks to life away. There's no relief in sight. It's cooking and scrubbing and sewing all day, and God knows what in the night.
Stonecutters cutting on stone, woodpeckers pecking on wood. There's nothing so bad for a woman as a man who's bad or good.
Makes you wonder, don't it?
Now you tell her, Julie.
She's your best girlfriend.
Tell it to her good, Julie, tell it to her good. What's the use of wondering if he's good or if he's bad, or if you like the way he wears his hat? Oh, what's the use of wondering if he's good or if he's bad? He's your fella and you love him. That's all there is to that. Common sense may tell you that the ending will be sad, and now's the time to break and run away. But what's the use of wondering if the ending will be sad? He's your fella and you love him. That's all there is to that. Something made him the way that he is, whether he's false or true, and something gave him the things that are his. One of those things is you. So when he wants your kisses, you will give them to the lad, and anywhere he leads you, you will walk. And anytime he needs you, you go running there like mad. You're his girl and he's your fella, and all the rest is talk. Billy, where you going?
Where are we going?
Go look for the treasure.
No, Billy, I want to go with you.
No!
Billy!
Get out of my way. I ain't got time
No,
for
Billy, let me have that, please!
And now's the time to break and run away. Oh, what's the use of wondering if the ending will be sad? He's your fella and you love him. There's nothing more to say.
say hello?
I say, good evening, sir. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me the time? And suppose he answers me. What do I say then?
He won't!
Have you ever killed a man before?
If I did, I wouldn't be likely to say, would I?
No, I guess you wouldn't. Suppose tonight, if we die and we go before
who?
Before God.
You and me, not a chance.
Why not?
What's the highest court you ever been drugged into?
Police magistrates, I guess.
Sure, never been before a Supreme Court judge, have you?
No.
Well, same thing in the next world. For the rich, a high court and a heavenly judge. For you and me, police magistrates. For the rich, chub little angels and music.
Won't we get any music?
You and me, not a note. All we'll get is justice. Yes, sir, nothing but justice.
We'll be coming back from the clam bake soon. I wish old Cyber would show.
He will. What do you and me say we play some cards while we're waiting? Help the time pass quicker.
All right.
All right, how much money you got?
80 cents.
All right, 80 cents. We'll play 21. I'll bank.
I'll bet the bank.
Sounds like he's got an ace.
Come again? Again? Over. Suppose you don't come.
He's a little late. What do you say you and me go on with the game?
I don't got any more money. I told you that.
Want to play on credit?
You mean you trust me?
No, but I'll deduct it.
From what?
From your share of the money. If you win, you'll deduct it from mine.
All right. Can't sit here doing nothing. Drive a fella crazy. How much is the bank?
Tonight, old Sideburns will be bringing $3,000 down to the captain. But tonight, the captain won't get it. We'll get it. $1,500 for you, and $1,500 for me.
All right. 50. No, 100. Come again?
21.
Double or nothing.
Double or nothing it is.
Come again.
21.
Say, you cheating?
Do I look like a cheater?
Oh, I guess not. 500.
Dollars?
Dollars.
Say, you're a plunder, ain't you? Yes, sir.
Come again. And again. Over.
That's $700 you owe me.
700. Double or nothing.
Double or nothing it is. 21, unnatural.
Why, you cheating low life little Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me the time?
Don't budge, either one of you. Drop that knife. Ahoy up there! On the NCB! Captain Watson, anybody up there?
Ahoy down there!
Go up to that one. He's running up Maple Street. I'll cover the other one. Look behind you. What do you see?
2 policemen.
You want to know what time it is? I'll tell you. The time for you will be 10 or 20 years in prison.
Oh, no, it won't.
Where do you think you're escaping to? The sky?
They won't put me in no prison.
Stop him!
Julie!
What about you, Mr. Bascom? Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right. Lucky, though. Very lucky. This is the first time I've ever carried a pistol with me.
Is he dead?
I don't think so. Still breathing.
You go for a doctor. Bring him out front where we can lay him out flat. Put this under his head.
The silly fools. They didn't even notice I was coming from the ship, not to it.
The money they tried to kill for is locked up in my desk.
The fools.
He got away.
What's that?
the folk coming back from the clam bake.
You better stop them.
Yes, sir. Get back there. Step back.
Why?
Keep back.
Oh my God.
Keep back.
What's going on? Oh my God.
What's going on? Back up. Oh my God. Keep back. Poor Julie.
Oh my God.
Julie. Julie. There's someone I want to tell you. I couldn't see anything coming. And Jigger told me how we get a hold of a lot of money and maybe sail to San Francisco.
Yes?
Tell the baby, if you want. Tell her I had these dreams about San Francisco.
Yes.
Julie, hold my hand tight.
I'm holding it tight.
Still tighter. Julie.
Goodbye.
The good Lord will help him now, ma'am.
Julie, don't be mad at me for saying it, but you're better off this way.
Carrie's right.
Tell me, Julie, am I right? You're right, Carrie. He's better off too, poor feller. Believe me, Julie, he's better off too. Don't cry, Carrie. God be with you, Julie.
Let me go! Where is he? Don't let me go!
You're back.
Sleep, Billy. Sleep like a good boy. I knew why you hit me. You were quick-tempered and unhappy. I always knew what you were thinking. But you didn't always know what I was thinking. One thing I never told you, scared you'd laugh at me. I'll tell you now. I love you. I love you. I love you. I was always ashamed to say it out loud. But now I said it tonight. What am I gonna do?
Do? Why, you gotta stay on here with me. So's I can be with you when you have the baby. Main thing is to keep on living. Keep on caring what's gonna happen. Remember that sample you gave me? Remember what it says?
The words? Sure, I used to sing them in school.
Sing them to me now. See if you know what they mean.
When you walk through a storm, keep your chin up high, and don't be afraid of the...
When you walk through a storm, keep your chin up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky, and the sweet silver song of the light. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the wind, for your dreams be tossed and
Get up, Billy.
Huh?
Get up.
Who are you?
Shake yourself up. Gotta get going.
Going? Where?
Never mind where. Important thing is you can't stay here.
Julie.
She can't hear you.
Who decided that?
You did when you killed yourself.
I see. So it's over.
It is as simple as that. As long as one person on earth remembers you, it isn't over.
What are they gonna do to me?
We weren't going to do anything. We just came down to fetch you. Take you up to the judge.
Judge? Am I going before the Lord God himself?
What have you ever done that you should come before him?
I see. So Jigger was right. No Supreme Court for little people. Just police magistrates.
You said anything if that.
I tell you, if they kick me around up here like they did on Earth, I'm gonna do something about it. I got nothing to lose. I'm dead. I'm going straight to the top, you hear?
Simmer down, Billy. Simmer down. Stay off it. Stay off it. Billy,
What is this? Who are you?
never mind who I am, Bigelow.
Where am I?
You're in the backyard of heaven. There's the gates over there.
The pearly gates?
No, the pearly gates are on front. These are the back gates. They're just Mother Pearly.
I ain't going to no back gates. I'm going to the top.
You'll go where we send you, young man.
Now walk here.
Don't yell.
I didn't yell.
Well, don't. Now, this one's finished. Sister, please hang it over Salem, Mass. Aye. Now, question I gotta ask everybody. Is there anything on Earth you left unfinished? The reason I ask is you're entitled to go back for a day if you want to.
I guess now that I'm here, I might as well stay.
Waives his right to go back.
Can I ask you something? I want to know if the baby will be a boy or a girl.
We'll come to that later.
I'm only asking.
Just let me do the asking and you do the answering. I got my orders. Now, you left your wife having a baby come in with nothing for him to live on. Why'd you do that?
Well, I couldn't find work, and I couldn't bear to see her.
You couldn't bear to see her cry. Why don't you come out and say it? Why are you afraid of saying the right word? Why are you ashamed you love jewelry?
I'm ashamed of anything.
Why'd you beat her?
I didn't beat her. I wouldn't beat a little thing like that. I hit her.
Why?
Well, we'd argue, see, and she'd say this, and I'd say that, and she'd be right, so I hit her.
Are you sorry you hit her?
I ain't sorry about anything.
You can be as salt and pernickety as you want. Up here, patience is as endless as time. We can wait. Now, look here, son. It's only fair to tell you you're in a pretty tight corner. The fact is, you haven't done enough good in your life to get in there. Not even through the back door.
Well, if I can't get in, I can't.
I didn't say you can't. I just said you haven't done enough so far. Might still make it if you tried hard enough.
How?
Well, for one thing, you could go down to Earth for a day, do something real fine for someone.
What could I do?
Do your little daughter some good.
Daughter? It's a girl? My baby.
Ain't a baby anymore. She's 15 years old.
How could that be? I just came from there.
You gotta get used to a new way of telling time, Billy. A year on Earth is just a minute up here. Now, don't you think you should see her?
Could I?
Sure could. Follow me.
Tell me something. Is she happy?
No, she ain't. She's a lot like you. That's why I figure you're the one who could help her most, if you was there.
Well, if she ain't happy, I don't want to look.
Well, right now she appears to be having a fine time. Yes, sir. There she is, running on the beach. Got her shoes and stockings off.
Like I used to do.
Don't you think you better take a look?
Could I? What would I have to do to see her?
Just look and wait. The power to see her will come to you.
Is that her? Little girl with the straw-colored hair?
Pretty, ain't she?
My little girl.
Something like what happened to you when you was a kid, ain't it?
Someone ought to help her.
Ah, yeah. Someone ought to. You can go down whenever you want. Offer's still open.
And then we all climbed to the top of the Statue of Liberty. Enoch and me and the 9 kids.
Did you see any theaters in New York?
Of course we did.
Did you see any of them there?
Extravaganzas. Enoch took me to one of them things. The curtain went up, and the first thing you see is 12 hussies with nothing on their legs but tights. Then what happened? Well, Enoch just grabbed hold of my arm and dragged me out of the theater. But I went back the next day to a matinee to see how the story comes out.
All by yourself? Lucky you didn't see anybody you knew.
I did. Who? Enoch! There was this one girl. She sung an awfully catchy song. She threw her leg over a fence like this, and she started to... And it rained all day.
Louise, dear, come take these cups into the kitchen.
That's a girl.
She threw her leg over a fence like this, and she sung, I'm a tomboy, just a tomboy. I'm a madcap maiden from Broadway. I'm a tomboy, a merry tomboy. I'm a madcap maiden from Broadway.
Turn your eyes away, Junior.
I was just telling Julie about that show, Madcap Maidens.
We also saw Julius Caesar. Wouldn't that be a better play to quote from?
I don't remember much of that one. All the men was dressed in nightgowns. It made me sleepy.
Why don't you sit and visit with us for a while?
Afraid we haven't the time. Mrs. Snow and I have to stop at the minister's on the way to the graduation. And I'll thank you not to sing I'm a tomboy to the minister's wife.
I already did.
Come, Junior.
Pa, can I stay and talk to Louise?
No.
Just for 5 minutes?
No.
Oh, let him.
All right. 5 minutes. No more.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I'll see you later at the graduation, okay? Bye. It's really good.
Still lollygagging. You'd think a woman with 9 children would have more sense.
If I had more sense, I wouldn't have had 9 children.
I wish I could go to New York.
What are you gonna do after you graduate?
Listen, Enoch, can you keep a secret?
Can she see me?
Only if you want me to.
Well, what's the secret?
I'm going to be an actress. There's a troupe coming through here next week. I met a fella. Says he's the advance man or something. Says he'll help me.
You mean run away? Shh. I won't let you do it, Louise.
How you stop me?
I'll marry you, that's how. The hardest thing will be to persuade Papa to let me marry beneath my station.
You needn't bother marrying beneath your station. I wouldn't have you, and I wouldn't have that stuck-up buzzard for a father-in-law if you give me $1 million.
You're a fine one to talk about my father. What about your own? A cheap Barker on a carousel. And he beat your mother.
You get out of here, you sneaky little laddie mouth! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
If I want her to see me, she will. Little girl. Louise.
Who are you? How did you know my name?
Someone told me you lived here. I knew your father.
My father?
I heard what that little whippersnapper said. It ain't true, any of it.
It is true. All of it.
Is that what your mother said?
No, but every kid in town knows it. They've been throwing it up at me ever since I can remember. I wish I was dead.
But what did your mother say about him?
Oh, she's told me a lot of fairy stories about how he died in San Francisco. And she's always saying what a handsome fella he was.
Well, he was.
Was he? Really?
He was the handsomest fella around here.
You really knew him, did you? And he was handsome? What else do you know about him? Know anything else good about him?
Well, he used to tell funny jokes around the carousel, make people laugh, and...
Did he? What else?
Listen, I want to give you something. A present.
Don't come in, mister. My mother wouldn't like it.
I don't mean you any harm. I want to give you something.
Don't come any closer. You go away with your white face. You scare me.
Don't chase me away. I want to give you something. Something pretty. Something wonderful.
What's that?
Psst. A star.
Go away.
Please, darling, don't chase me away.
Don't call me darling.
Please.
Let go of my arms.
Please.
No! Mother!
Failure. You struck out blindly again. All you ever do to get out of difficulty. Hit someone you love. Failure.
Where is he?
Ah,
Nah, I don't want her to see me.
Then she doesn't.
She looks like she saw me before I said that.
Oh, he's gone. I didn't make it out, Mother. Honest, there was a strange man here, and he hit me. Hard. I heard the sound of it, but I didn't feel it. It was just as if he'd kissed my arm. Go into the house, dear. What's wrong, Mother? Don't you believe me?
I believe you.
Then why don't you tell me why you're acting so funny?
It's nothing, child.
But is it possible, Mother, for someone to hit you like that, real loud and hard, and not hurt at all?
It's possible, dear, for someone to hit you hard, and it not hurt at all.
She took the star. Seems like she knew I was here.
She'll do it always now.
She never changes.
No. Shirley never changes.
But my little girl, my Louise, I gotta do something for her.
So far, you haven't done much.
I know.
Time's running out.
I gotta go see her graduation. I need an extension.
All right, Billy.
Junior. Miss Louise Bigelow. Our speaker today is the most popular, best-loved woman in our town, Dr. Selden.
Say, that looks like that lady from up there.
Yes, a lot of these country doctors and ministers remind you of her. Excuse me. It's the custom at these graduations to pick out some old duck like me to preach at the kids. I can't preach to you, know you all too well. Brought most of you into the world. Rubbed liniment on your backs and poured castor oil down your throats. Well, all I hope is now that I got you this far, you'll turn out to be worth all the trouble I took with you. I can't tell you any sure way to happiness. All I know is that you got to go out and find it for yourselves. And you can't lean on the success of your parents. That's their success. And don't be held back by their failures. Makes no difference what they did or didn't do. You just stand on your own 2 feet.
Believe her, darling, believe her.
The world belongs to you just as much as to the next fella. Don't give up. And try not to be scared of people not liking you. You just try liking them.
keep your faith and courage, and you'll come out all right. It's like we used to sing every morning when I was in school. Maybe you still sing it. I don't know. When you walk through a wind storm, keep your chin up high. Know that one?
And don't be afraid of the dark.
Believe, darling. Believe her.